What your favourite Total War title says about you. Shogun won Total War. You're an old man now, in your 50s, suffering the heavy burden of old life. Sometimes you like to go back to Shogun 1 for the nostalgia of a different time. Up there with Civilization 1, Civilization 2, and the early days of Age of Empires. Medieval 1. Again, probably quite old. You play games in general, or maybe just this one, because you find it calming. Nothing new to really learn, just play, have fun for an hour or so, and then back to normal life. Rome Total War. You may like historical accuracy, but it does not decide if a game is good or bad for you. You like Rome because it is simple. Everything is clear and the colours pop. You more than likely don't mind the newer titles that go for their more cartoony style of look. Medieval 2. You like your games to be a bit more gritty and realistic in their appearance. Hence, you sometimes hate the cartoony look of the newer games. You defend Medieval 2 as often as you can. You don't play many other games, but those that you do, you have many hours in them. Maybe you're a bit stubborn, and the new world of gaming may send you on hour-long rants online. But really, you just love that era of gaming and wish for a return to that golden age. Empire. Chances are you don't like the game exactly, but rather you respect the attempt made by the developers and see the vision of what it was meant to be, on top of loving the time period. I often joke about Empire fans, but I agree, an Empire 2 fully working could be an amazing title. Napoleon. You love the era and are a fan of gunpowder combat, but cannot stand Empire's bugs. The complex politics and the diplomatic starting position is also something you are a big fan of, but chances are you have mostly moved over to Paradox by this point, as Napoleon fans seem to be more campaign lovers than battle lovers, generally speaking. This was me a few years ago. Shogun 2. Of course, maybe you just love the setting, but I bet many of you are also fans of the smooth combat style this game has to offer. The beauty of it combined with the amazing optimization makes this game feel like a work of art. That, combined with the best multiplayer experience, makes me think that Shogun 2 fans love games that are bug-free and strive for perfection. Rome 2. You took an injury to the head as a child. No, MELKOR, don't be rude. Rome 2 fans. You don't like anything too complex or too stressful. You want to load into the game and just experience history at your own pace. All those different factions, all those units, and all those diplomatic options. You're a big lover of the Roman world and often like to just zoom in, sit back, and spectate your most epic battles. You're probably more of a battle lover rather than a campaign player. Attila. You get pleasure out of weird stuff. You like the hard pressure from your enemies entering your territory from all sides. You like the tight, limited building potential in your cities. You like to get sweaty. and Attila's Hunnic hordes certainly provide that experience. I also see Attila fans as being history lovers, whether that be for the game itself or the many mods available with it. Besides Medieval 2 and Rome 1, due to them being easier to mod, Attila has some of the best mods and most successful mods in Total War history. Warhammer 1 and 2. You're either a fan of Warhammer, or maybe you were a historical fan that moved over after seeing the love that these titles receive. The game looks visually stunning, alongside being clear to see. This may remind you of Rome 1 Total War, or maybe the OP-ness of some units brings you back to the days of Medieval 2, when you would just dominate battle after battle. Maybe you're still a history fan deep down, and dream every night that a historical title will release that has the same drive behind it, the same love and passion. The variety between the factions and unique interactivity behind faction mechanics shows to you the love the developers have in investing into this game. At the end of the day, Warhammer 2 makes you hopeful for a bright future for both fantasy and historical Total War, which many do not seem to understand. Thrones of Britannia. You like a good siege. They feel multi-layered and use the terrain in absolutely amazing ways. Ways that make you feel overpowered and gives you a rush of pleasure mid-battle as you dominate your foe off the cliff edge. Now there's other stuff to like about Thrones, but also stuff to dislike. But one thing that even the biggest haters seem to agree on is that the sieges are epic. Three Kingdoms. You like the setting and character building that the game provides. The duels, the landscapes, everything about this represents you and your interests. For many of you, it also reminds you of the glorious days of Shogun 2's release. Overall, the duels being the main seller that sets it apart from other titles. How many people who play records mode only still actually play and enjoy the game to this day? Not many, I can imagine. Troy. It is free and my computer can run it. So there we are, just a little prediction about what your favourite title says about you. I was a Napoleon fan, liking the time period and gunpowder combat, whilst hating the bugs in Empire. Gradually I grew more in love with Rome 1 for the clean colours. That's one of my favourite things about really any game. Having good colours that really stand out. And Attila for the history and my weird desires. Lately I am becoming a Warhammer fan. Oddly, my love for Warhammer 2 Total War and its success makes me hopeful of a good historical title. Not because it will have the same features and mechanics, but because the game feels so loved. It is clear that so much effort has been put into that game, and that this will continue. And if a historical title like Medieval 3, Rome 3, or Empire 2 has love and passion behind the project, it will succeed. Anyway, I have been MELKOR. Let me know which one or which ones you are. Subscribe for more, share with anyone you think may be interested. But for now, until the next one, tomorrow's video, goodbye.